Good morning. Well, I'm sure you've heard people warning about not to get cold or you might catch a cold. And don't go outside with wet hair because you could get sick. But as health reporter Haley Hernandez reports, some of these old wives' tales may not be true.
Baylor College of Medicine tells me patients are even asking questions about the coronavirus, which is not in our area. So unless you're traveling to places where it exists, you're not going to get it. Myths and misconceptions are common, though, in your health. So let's get some things straight.
Your parents always told you these are bad. Are they? Like, don't cross your eyes or scowl your face. It'll freeze and stay that way. Physician assistant Isabel Valdez says that's false, but we won't tell your kids.
They're both not true. Cross eyes can happen because, or a lazy eye is a medical condition.
Ever heard this one? If you jump in the pool immediately after eating, you'll get sick.
So you do want the food to settle, but it's not necessarily a truth in that it's always going to happen. No.
She says cracking your knuckles won't do anything either, but make a cringy noise. And believe it or not, balding is out of your control, even if you've heard wearing a hat will make you that way.
Well, guys can wear a cap to hide it, but they're not going to wear it to lose it.
And this time of year, she says she's always hearing people believe they caught a cold simply by being cold, but that's impossible.
Usually what happens is that because people are cold, they step indoors, they stay with a lot more people, and there's always that one person who might be sick and have the sniffles, and that person is highly contagious and gets other people sick.
But doesn't heat escape from your head? This one has to be true.
No, it's not true. It's not true. But I do recommend wearing caps and hats because they look nice, and especially if you're running and exercising outdoors, protecting yourself is not a bad idea.
Since it is Heart Month, let's also talk about what there is to know about heart disease. Have you ever heard that your left side will hurt if you're having a heart attack? That's half true. In men, that can happen. In women, it's not always the case. Heart disease in women can be as simple as nausea and discomfort. It's not always obvious and intense. I'm health reporter Haley Hernandez, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Thank you, Haley. Channel 2 News at noon starts right now.
Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News at noon.
A massive mess on the Southwest Freeway. A big rig full of pork products overturns in Rosenberg. Right now at noon, the driver explains what caused that crash and how he escaped from the truck. An emotional tribute for an honorary officer who inspired people around the country. The ceremony held for the late Abigail Arias a year after she was sworn in as a Freeport police officer. A.J. Hinch breaking his silence, the former Astros manager addressing the sign-stealing scandal for the first time since he was fired. But we begin with that crash in Rosenberg. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Sirota. Hazmat crews have been hard at work for several hours now after this 18-wheeler overturned on the Southwest Freeway, spilling pork product all over the road. Channel 2's Vincent Crivelli has more on those efforts and a first-hand account from the man behind the wheel of that truck.
Good afternoon. This single vehicle crash happened about 7 hours ago, and you can see workers are still here cleaning it up. Now, the semi-truck was towed away, but there is still a lot of work to do, including more pig parts to pick up. The semi-truck mangled, windshield shattered, broken hood, and metal container cracked, with 42,000 pounds of pig parts spilling out.
I'm probably going to go to the hospital. My neck really starting to hurt.
The driver had some visible injuries.
Yeah.
His arm sliced in 3 places.
I'm a little cut up here and there. He got hurt. His little leg got hurt.
His dog Whopper didn't have much to say. However, he was in good spirits.
Whopper, good boy.
The truck driver didn't provide his name, but he blames the crash on another driver.
Like literally on that curve, just cut me off. And it didn't just cut me off, it almost sideswiped me.
Then the truck rolled and slammed into the ground. He became trapped inside.
So I started smashing the window until I got out.
You were worried there might be a fire, an explosion?
Yeah, I was getting him. I just started smashing it with whatever I had metal.
He kicked his way to freedom thanks to these steel-toe boots. Then he became a spectator as his truck was chained up, pulled up, and flipped over. After his truck was towed away, workers began scooping up load after load after load of pig parts and debris, then dumping them in an empty container. No doubt a messy situation. However, it could have been much worse. The driver thankful he and his pup will live another day. I also want to point out that traffic is down to one lane and backed up. The truck driver says he was taking this load of frozen pigs from Illinois to the valley. And guys, I think it's safe to say that these pigs won't be making it to the market. Reporting in Fort Bend County, Vincent Crivelli, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
We have this just into our newsroom. Houston police have just released the name and the mugshot of a suspected drunk driver who's accused of hitting and killing a man on a scooter. 57-year-old Carlos Lopez Obispo, now in jail and charged with intoxication manslaughter. That crash happened on Bel Air near Renwick last night. Police say the victim was waiting at the bus stop when he was hit. He later died at the hospital. The Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office is sharing new details on a deadly crash that we've been tracking all morning. They say Lawrence Steptoe died after drifting into oncoming traffic last night and crashing head-on into another driver on FM 2234 near FM 521 in Fresno. Investigators tell us her 9-year-old daughter was in the back seat and was not hurt. The driver of the other vehicle is in the hospital. We want to remind you about construction starting again tonight that caused some major headaches last weekend. Crews will get to work again on the West Loop at the Southwest Freeway. Starting tonight at 9 o'clock, northbound lanes on 610 and southbound lanes at the Southwest Freeway will be shut down. They won't reopen until 5 a.m. Monday morning. The construction is set to last through the end of the month. We've posted everything you need to know about this traffic alert, including a closer look at these alternate routes. It's all on click2houston.com. Okay, so traffic may be a nightmare in that area, but our weather certainly is not. After 2 cold days, the sun is shining bright, and Cambrell, it is shaping up to be a beautiful afternoon.
I'll bet that if we hop into your convertible and head down I-45, it's not going to be a problem in the world.
My friend, let's go.
And look at that. That's a beautiful
Gorgeous.
shot. Is that, man, God's been painting. Hey, notice anything different? Iceland is gone. That means 9 degrees is gone and got more parking space for you to go down to Moody Gardens. 67 degrees at Bush Intercontinental, 68 in Galveston. The winds are from the southwest. They will continue to be that. South-southwest now at 16 miles per hour sustained. So no, it's going to be on the breezy side. There's a low water alert down in Galveston. The boaters are most concerned about that until about 3 o'clock this afternoon. 2 to 3 foot seas. The bays are light chop. High tide is going to be again at 4:56 this afternoon. So for the boaters, that's good to know. Come out about 66, 67 degrees for your high temperature as far as the air is concerned. Water temperature, a little bit cooler. Temperatures, if you're going to head down there throughout the day, let's just say mid-60s. Sunshine is going to be around a lot. We're going to see that change at south winds at 10 to 15 miles an hour. You already know that's the case. Changes are coming, though. We'll take a look at that in the 10-day forecast just ahead.
All right, Cambrell, thanks so much. Now to the latest on the coronavirus crisis. Americans being evacuated from China are scheduled to arrive in San Antonio today. They're scheduled to land at Lackland Air Force Base in the next 20 minutes. The CDC says as many as 250 people on board that plane are coming from the epicenter of the outbreak and will be quarantined for 14 days. Here at home, State Representative Gene Wu will be in Southwest Houston this afternoon to clear up any rumors about the coronavirus in Chinatown. He will make his remarks at 2 o'clock at the Dunhuang Plaza on Bel Air Boulevard. Now to new questions raised by the head of the Democratic Party about the chaos that unfolded at the Iowa caucuses. This all comes as candidates are crisscrossing New Hampshire ahead of that state's primary and gearing up for another debate. NBC's Morgan Radford has the latest.
Mixed messages in New Hampshire. Bernie Sanders looking to move past the caucus chaos.
We've got enough of Iowa. I think we should move on to New Hampshire.
While Pete Buttigieg is focusing on the results.
Well, it's fantastic news to hear that we won. First of all, I want to say Senator Sanders clearly had a great night, too, and I congratulate him and his supporters.
The only thing that is clear, both sides are claiming victory.
What I want to do today, 3 days late, is to thank the people of Iowa for the very strong victory they gave us at the Iowa caucuses on Monday night.
We are absolutely electrified by the energy that we are coming here with and by the extraordinary validation of this campaign's vision that we had in Iowa.
We caught up with Sanders on the trail on Thursday.
This process run by the Iowa Democratic Party has been a disaster, unmitigated disaster.
Everyone wants to know, are you claiming victory in Iowa?
Well, from where I come from, Morgan, when you get 6,000 more votes than your opponent, from where I come from, that sounds like a victory to me.
Overnight, the Iowa Democratic Party released what they say are the full results. But the national DNC chair has already called for a re-canvass in Iowa. And NBC News is not calling the race. The head of the DNC speaking out on MSNBC overnight.
In all likelihood, that's not going to affect the national delegate math. There are over 2,000 or so state delegate equivalents.
As for the next set of votes, the latest Monmouth University poll shows Buttigieg closing in on Sanders in New Hampshire, with Joe Biden and Senator Elizabeth Warren trailing behind. But that same poll also shows only about half of likely primary voters have their minds made up.
That was Morgan Radford reporting. Today, a visitation will be held for fallen Liberty County Deputy Richard Whitten. The service is this evening at the Neal Funeral Home in Cleveland. It starts at 5 o'clock. His funeral will then be held tomorrow morning at the Sanctuary Church, which is also in Cleveland. Services start at 11 a.m. Deputy Whitten died from an apparent heart attack on Monday. He was recovering after being shot in the line of duty in May of last year. Former Astros skipper A.J. Hinch is breaking his silence over the sign stealing scandal for the first time since he was fired. The former manager sat down with Major League Baseball's Tim Verducci one-on-one. He opened up about the idea of the Astros' 2017 title being tainted, saying everyone will have to draw their own conclusions. In a clip tweeted out by the MLB Network, Hinch also admitting to Verducci that he heard the banging and didn't do enough to stop it.
You have to be hearing the banging going on, correct?
Yeah, no, I heard it. I heard it. I don't think you process it right away. It's like you hear a lot of things, but I heard it.
So at some point, though, you begin to process what's going on here. And you said, obviously, you know it was wrong. The question is, why don't you step in at that point and say, guys, knock it off?
I wish I would have.
A.J. Hinch was fired in the wake of the scandal, along with GM Jeff Luhnow. Dusty Baker was tapped to replace Hinch, while James Click was chosen to be the new GM. Today marks 1 year since Freeport's pint-sized crime fighter was sworn in as an honorary police officer. Abigail Arias became a light of hope to other tiny cancer fighters. Although she's no longer with us, the 7-year-old's legacy lives on and is being honored with a special tribute today. The organization Saving a Hero's Place unveiled the honor chair built in Abigail's memory. The chairs are built and given to the agency of fallen first responders to help fill the void felt by colleagues.
You were an inspiration to law enforcement across the nation. You brought light to a profession that can sometimes feel dark. We thank you for being a hero to those who walk the thin blue line. We'll take it from here.
The Freeport police chief attended the unveiling to receive the chair. We will have more on this emotional ceremony and Abigail's impact coming up in our evening newscasts. Trouble for the future of space. NASA announcing new safety concerns with the spacecraft that was designed to carry NASA astronauts to the International Space Station. The price of being TikTok famous. 4 airport workers pay a hefty price after a video they filmed on the clock goes viral. Next on Channel 2 News at noon.
A better night's sleep. You're watching Channel 2, Houston's home for news.
4 workers at a California airport are off the job after a video they shot while at work went viral. The former ramp agents at Fresno Yosemite International Airport say they were done with work early and decided to have a little fun by making this TikTok video. They say the repercussions came after the video started racking up views and they never got a clear reason for their termination.
We heard from our bosses after our video hit about like 300,000 views, and so we had got, the attention of a lot of people apparently. And I guess that they didn't like that. Even understand, you know, it's such a bad thing about what we did because we're giving positive promotion for this company.
In a statement, the airport said their behavior, quote, displays poor judgment and does not reflect the conduct expected of individuals working at FAT. Despite being fired, the men say they don't regret making the video. This afternoon, we're getting a closer look at the damage left behind by a possible tornado in South Carolina. Trees snapping like twigs, crushing roof after roof. This is in Spartanburg County yesterday. Despite the trail of destruction, thankfully no one got hurt. National Weather Service teams will be on the ground today to survey the damage there. Boy, oh boy,
yeah, that's all a part of that system that we skirted to the south of that. And everybody was like, well, we got snow. Well, you see what happens. A lot of people had that. I called my daughter yesterday. She lives in North Carolina. It was her birthday. Happy birthday. And she was saying, it's raining, raining. Not going to rain on her parade. We're glad nobody got hurt and all of that. Hey, we got started today. Look at this sunrise. I love this shot from yesterday, from this morning.
That's stunning.
San Leon. There's a beautiful shot there. And we got this shot here, too, from Cracker Dog 216.
Hello there,
squirrels.
Mr. Squirrel.
Yep, they're out and about. They're ready to do their thing all over the place here. You'll see them out there figuring out, okay, where did I drop that that little nugget that I put? Because they always bury their stuff. You know, you watch them burying their stuff throughout the fall, and then you say, well, what happened to that? Head to the zoo today. Look at all the giraffe. Bobby the baby giraffe is out there. We love him. He's out there doing his thing, hanging out with all the adults. Temperatures are nice and warm for him and everybody else. 69 degrees here right now at the zoo. Southwest winds at 20 miles per hour. That's sustained, so it's a breezy day for you. Maybe a little less comfortable if the winds were down a little bit. We'd be a little bit more comfortable. But really, after we've had those cold days with the breezy conditions and cold, I think we'll take these upper 60s throughout. 67 at Bush at the Hobby Airport, 69 in Lake Jackson, 68 in Galveston. Temperatures are on the warm side throughout, and everybody's get the breeze going on. 18, 17, 15 miles an hour, gusting to 25 in some places. So be ready for those breezy conditions here. High pressure down in the Gulf that flow around that high. That's why we have the winds from the south and west. Over the next couple of days, we'll see a few changes. Warm tomorrow. We'll see a few more clouds picking up tomorrow, but mostly sunny skies. Warm going into sunny Sunday as well. A few more clouds coming in, but that flow coming from the Gulf is really picking up, bringing a little bit more moisture as well. So we get the warmth, but we get the rain chances picking up later on Sunday night into Monday. And so Monday into Tuesday, you see this front kind of elongates and settles in and becomes stationary going into Monday and Tuesday. So throughout the week going into Thursday, we'll have showers off and on pretty much every day. So keep that in mind going into the next day or so. Wednesday looks to me to be the wettest day going forward here, but cooler air on the backside of that. In terms of the rain amounts, FUTURECAST model has us getting moderate rainfall through Tuesday and Wednesday. But look what happens here. We get these purples and reds. That's indicating 2 to 3 inches, and that looks like that could very well be the case after we get through Thursday. Right now, exact track radar, mostly quiet. Northern part of the state going into the Louisiana area, a few showers around, but for the most part, we'll have nice clear skies like we have today. Tonight, hour by hour, going about 70 degrees going forward here. And over the 10-day forecast, you notice that the rain chances are pretty much every day next week. 20 to 40 to 60%. Wednesday, as I said, is the schmutz day of the week. That is not a meteorological term. You will not find it in a dictionary, but you know what I mean, okay? Temperatures are moderate. We'll take those 70s, won't we?
Yeah, very spring-like for us.
Why not? The groundhog said it was going to be that way.
I know. Don't mess with what Puxatawny Phil said.
Can't argue with Phil.
Nope. Yeah. Cambrell, thanks so much. Coming up today on Houston Life, a step-by-step guide to getting out of debt, plus a thrift shop throwdown that involves Derek and Courtney going on a shopping challenge. Courtney, I know how you are in the stores.
Andy,
Sharpen my elbows.
Mess with her.
Sharpening the elbows. You are so right. She is throwing it down. We both are today. So here's the deal. We set out with 25 bucks. We've done this a few times before, but this one was really fun because with just 25 bucks, we went out with the two cheap blondes, Jen and Pippa, right there on your screen. Well, that's actually Jen and Courtney. I was paired up with Pippa. But essentially, the goal for this week's challenge was to find the item with the highest original retail price, because sometimes at these thrift stores, you can find designer labels that people originally spent hundreds of dollars, if not more, for. So that's the challenge today. Courtney, may the best television host win.
Thank you. I will. Thank you so much.
Wow, okay.
Also, guys, do you have tickets to the big show happening this weekend? Monster Jam. Check this out. Always a crowd favorite. My boys love going to see it. The action, the power, and our own Lauren Kelly. Look at her. Oh, no, that's not her. Oh, that's another guy. But she does drive, gets in the monster truck.
Oh, there she is on the back of that one.
My bad. She is on the back. She has so much fun. She's going to take us inside on the pit. And I don't think she's in that car either.
Look how big those tires are. Don't you flip those at CrossFit, Courtney?
I do.
Also on this Finance Friday, getting out of debt. This is something that faces so many Houstonians. Our financial expert, Trevor Shakiba, he's going to share some strategies, how we can get out of debt, and also when is the right time to maybe consolidate some of those debts or loans into one low interest payment. So we'll tackle all of that and more coming up today at 1 o'clock, Andy.
Great way to spend a Friday, guys. Looking forward to it, and we'll see you here shortly coming up at 1, and have yourselves a great weekend.
You too.
Safety concerns in the future of space. NASA revealing new software issues with Boeing's Starliner spacecraft.
Uber Eats.
Want to get back to our coverage on the coronavirus crisis. This is a live look now from San Antonio. Americans who were evacuated from China just arriving in San Antonio. They have just landed at Laughlin Air Force Base just minutes ago. This is a live look at the runway. The Centers for Disease Control says as many as 250 people on board that plane are coming from the epicenter of the outbreak and will be quarantined for 14 days. Trouble in the future of space. NASA's Safety Advisory Panel has revealed a second software issue with Boeing's Starliner spacecraft. You may remember the spacecraft, which is designed to carry NASA astronauts to the International Space Station, encountered a major problem in its uncrewed test flight back in December. The Starliner misfired and went off course and was forced to return to Earth. But now NASA says there was a second anomaly detected, and that it could have caused a catastrophic failure. Boeing acknowledged the issue and said it was fixed before it impacted Starliner's behavior. Boeing and NASA are looking into both issues. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
6.
Tex, our station mascot, as many of you already know, is on a mission to help Houston area animals in need. So today we are here with Texas Pet of the Week from the Houston Humane Society. This is his pal, Aurora. Aurora's a year old. She's a puppy. She's got a really interesting backstory here, Cambrell. She was found on the flooded streets when Imelda hit Houston, and she's been with the Houston Humane Society.
And she's not very friendly at all. That's the problem. If she could just be more friendly. We just met kissing on people like that.
No. She wants to give you a kiss.
If you're interested in adopting Aurora or any other pet, you can head over to clicktohouston.com/pets and see when more of Texas pals are up for adoption. Her tail is going to hurt me. She's so happy. She's beautiful. It's a beautiful day to get out and go ahead and adopt her, too. A little windy, a little breezy out there, 10 to 15 miles an hour, but temperatures are mid to upper 60s. You're going to love it. Aurora's going to love it when you show up to take her home.
Yeah. Have a great weekend.
Say bye, Aurora.
Say bye.
Say bye.
Say bye. Say bye.